You know, this came to me. Why is it so important for us to be able to first of all be able to manage ourselves, understand ourselves, interact with ourselves, and know ourselves for who we truly are? Now, remember, in our body, first of all, we are a reflection of the earth. So what is in the earth is inside of us. The next thing is, remember, God gave us command and control over everything that is upon the earth. Now, the whole duty of what we were supposed to do is to be able to manage, to control, to take care of, and also to love and cherish. At the same time, recognizing that we are only the children of the Most High God that is here to take care of what is His. That is our inheritance. So your body is your inheritance as well, And the first thing is for you to be able to understand your body. When I was young, I remember people used to say to me like, "Oh, do you not know yourself?" And I'll be like, "No, I don't. I just every day I'm learning something new." That's what I used to say because I was so telling the truth. Seriously, like this is fact. I know I was telling the truth because like every day I used to learn something new about myself. It's like my own self was like a magazine for my own self to understand and to read and to know. Every time as I got older, I understood myself more. I interacted with myself more. It was like that. It's crazy. Now, what I've gotten to understand, what God has showed me is that our body has cells, it has organs, and we have words. God has given us the greatest gift of all, which is to speak. As we speak, we are vibrating. As it vibrates, it's creating frequency. It is creating currency. It's creating waves. So our body, everything inside of us vibrates. Your heart vibrates. Your lung vibrate. Everything is moving consistently. Everything is like a city within its own self, but it's inside your body. It's the weirdest thing. Now, why is it so important to be able to understand ourselves? And why is it so important for us to understand ourselves? And the more we understand ourselves, is the more we are able to connect more with God. Because the more we are able to understand ourselves, is the more we are able to connect with God. Because then we recognize that it could only be God that could have created us. Sorry for the noise in the background. It could only be God that could have created us because it could never have been done by man, even though man are so trying to be like God. But come on now. Okay? Your wisdom, your knowledge, your understanding, everything comes from Him. He gives you what He wants you to know and what He doesn't want. He is the keeper of all secrets. That's why in the Bible, Daniel says, only He can interpret the dream. Only He can give him the wisdom to interpret the dream. And Joseph said it too. Okay? Because He's the keeper of all secrets, and what He wants you to know, you will know. And if He doesn't want you to know, you will not know it. Okay? We're trying to think that we are greater than God to know all secrets. God let us know what He wants us to know. And everything upon this earth still leads straight back to the Most High, to the Sovereign One, to the Source, to the Creator of all things. Everything leads back to Him. Every single thing on this earth, even us, inside of us, it is, you see His signature within it. You see His signature within it. Now, why is it so important for us to be able to learn how to manage ourselves? Because we are a system within its own self. That's what the Bible says, that we are a temple and He lives within us. If we are not able to control ourselves and manage ourselves and understand ourselves and relate to ourselves, come on now. How are you able to control anything else? Remember, everything on the outside is a reflection of what you are on the inside. So everything, if you're able to control or understand yourself from within, then everything else has to reflect what is on the inside. It has to reflect out. And everything that is out has to reflect on what is on your inside. So that is why it is so important to be able to first manage yourself, understand yourself, relate yourself. It is important. It is important sometimes to sit down there to yourself and have a laugh with your own self. Don't even care if anybody think you're crazy. You are having an interaction with your own self, a laugh with your own self. There's times I'll crack a joke and I'll laugh after it with my own self because I'm having a laugh with my own self. I'm having a moment with my own self, yo. I don't care if you want to think that I'm crazy or not. There's sometimes I'm sitting down there and I'll zone out. You zone out. Because You have to allow yourself to be in accordance to. And when I was younger, I used to run away from this. I used to run away from who I was and what I was and how I was, because, you know, sometimes people make you feel uncomfortable to be who you are and to even accept yourself for who you are. That's why it is important for you to love yourself nonetheless. And don't be apologetic for who you are. You know, embrace yourself for who you are. You know, when you're around someone, give them a little bit of sunshine. Because at the end of the day, we are here to encourage and strengthen each other and give each other a little bit of a sunshine. But it's important for you to understand yourself and to be able to manage yourself and to be able to relate to yourself and to be able to command yourself. If you don't feel well, say, I refuse to be sick. I am healthy. I am strong. You know, say these things, especially sometimes when people are trying to put pain upon you. Sometimes even you doing certain things, you put strenuous pain on yourself. Command yourself back to being healed. You have to first believe it for it to be what it has to be. You have to. You know, you have to. It's important. But this is why it's important to understand yourself. If you're able to understand yourself, then you're able to relate to God and you're able to understand Him more. Sorry about this. You're able to understand Him more. You know, you are. You're able to understand Him more. Take my word for it. I'm not saying you're going to understand yourself. I don't think anyone 100% fully understands their self, okay? Because every moment, every second, every minute is a learning process. We have been created so complex that it will take us forever to understand ourselves. And what we think that we know, we still do not know. That's how the Most High created us. We are a reflection of Him. Because He continually, every single moment, is understanding Himself more and more. Even though He knows who He is. But each moment, He's unwrapping. Let me tell you something. I expected for the video to cut out. Anytime I'm giving something that, you know, the enemy always makes something happen. But listen to me. Let me tell you this right now. Get to understand yourself. And don't be apologetic about it. Be unapologetic about getting to understand yourself and getting to understanding yourself. Connect more with God. Spend moment with yourself and God in silent places, in silent moments. Sometimes there's times that God's gonna want you to have to like cut off certain people, cut off certain things, and you have to be obedient unto His will, you know, and spend time with yourself and with Him, you know. You have to. Because for you to be able to have any reflection on the outside, you have to first reflect what is on the inside. And it has to be a reflection of what you want the outside to be. If the inside is not what it is supposed to be, then how can you reflect what you want on the outside? You have to understand what is within you first before you can understand what is on the outside and how to do or to receive or to execute what you need to do on the outside, you know? So never forget that. Get to understand yourself. Spend time with yourself. And you guys always hear me saying this, but it's factual. It's factual. I'm telling you of life experience. I'm on an adventure and I'm telling you of life experience. And I still don't understand myself that much either. Every day is a learning process because I'm learning something more about myself each day. And I know the same is going for you guys. All right? Stay blessed, everyone. Shalom. Bye-bye. Love you. Remember, you have to be able to manage yourself first before you can manage or execute or do anything on the outside. Stay blessed.